Welcome to Texans Unfiltered.
And here we go.
A Houston football podcast for your Houston Texans.
What up? What's going on, Texans Unfiltered Nation, listeners, people, everybody? I am Young Ari Gold, and I am doing a solo show tonight. There's my cat in the background just running around. John is having internet issues again, so we are, it'll just be me. And it'll be fun because there's nothing better than doing a live stream or a podcast all by yourself, especially when you love to talk. And that's me. I love to talk. So tonight, I kind of thought that we would do things just a little bit different. I thought we would do some Q&A, talk a little bit about some of the available free agents left in the free agent market. If you guys had some draft questions, we could do that. I thought we could do a mock draft. I could present my screen, and we could do a live mock drafts. Do a couple. I mean, I spend a lot of time doing these normally, so I thought it'd be cool to do together, especially since you guys can see my screen. And yeah, dude, I just thought, guys, girls, dudes, everybody, I thought we would just kind of hang out and do some stuff. So that was my thought, and I think we'll just kind of go through it. So I guess originally, oh, that's an ugly layout. That's an uglier layout. That's an even worse layout. So with the Houston Texans right now, there's not a lot going on, obviously. Just kind of a weird time as far as sports in general, right? With just kind of what we're doing, right? It's just it's a little different with COVID-19 and some of the other things that are going on. Oh no, I lost the stream. What's going on? Yeah, lots of different things, lots of moving pieces. Right now, it's really about just safety and everybody just kind of taking care of themselves. I hope you guys are doing that. If you are not doing that, then you guys need to be, because this is no joke right now. There's a lot going on. The numbers continue to increase. Things are not. It's just not an ideal time, right? Like, today, the NFL teams received notification about moving to a virtual draft. That was yesterday. So everything's going to be done virtually. It's funny because now already, like, the jokes are coming about the one GM that's going to get hacked, or the one GM who's going to share their screen and mess things up through the virtual aspect is going to be, of course, Bill O'Brien. So lots of chatter right now. But it kind of comes with the territory when you have that trade and the things that happen. I mean, it's just kind of all you can really do. All right, so we signed Timmy Jernigan since we've last recorded. I guess before we get into that, I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Rashad, the Footwork King. That was a great interview to just talk to him and kind of hear his thoughts and how he works and what's important to him when he's taking on players. I mean, the guy has worked with everybody. I mean, you name a top receiver, you name a top corner, he's worked with them, and he's working a lot with Lonnie Johnson. So it was nice to talk to him, just kind of understand how important that is, and what the impact is that he's having on players. And then I went around and turned that into an interview with Lonnie Johnson. So I'm sitting on that. I don't know if I'll release it within this podcast, or if I'll just release it as a separate podcast and do some film review of Lonnie's rookie year on Twitter, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around with a bunch of different ideas right now. But yeah, so that was really cool. It was a great conversation with Lonnie. I can tell you that Lonnie Johnson is all about getting better. He wants to do anything and everything he can to get better. And the fact that he is able to acknowledge that he needed to work on his footwork, he needed to work on his fluidity in his hips, recovery and transition, things of that nature, how to use his hands better, how to read the wide receiver's eyes, things like that is it's a good thing when you like just as a human, right? If you know there's things you need to work on and you do what you can to work on those things, that just that's just a good thing. That means you're willing to improve and you're willing to develop as a person. Same with the NFL. Any of the NFL players that know that they have an area they need to work on and something they need to develop on, it's good to see. And Lonnie definitely knows what he's doing and what he wants to do. And footwork is really his biggest thing. A lot of the film that I was watching, you could just see that, like the way that he moved, the way that he bit, the way he got turned around at times, a lot of that just has to do with his footwork and his hips. So yeah, those were great conversations. Lonnie's a really cool dude too. Really good to have those relationships and, continue to build out the Texans Unfiltered brand with players and coaches and scouts and things like that. Set chat up, Hermit, or go to bed. What do you mean? I mean, the chat's on there. I can see you. Brenna. Who the hell is this? How'd you know I was playing video games? Anyways, yeah, so Texans signed Timmy Jernigan in the last week to step up and fill DJ Reader's spot when he left for Cincinnati. I like the Timmy Jernigan move. I think he's a good run stopping defensive tackle, but he also has a little bit more as far as pass rush goes. He has some injury histories that cause for concern as far as what he's done over the last 4 to 5 years. But when he's healthy, he's a very good player, especially for the price that we got him for. It's really like a low risk, high reward type of situation. He's able to just fill that role for a year. I'm sure that we'll probably draft somebody that could potentially fill that role for him, for DJ when he left. But yeah, I like the move. I really think it's, dude, who the fuck is Brenna 215 and what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, dude, but I can see your chat. So, anyways, I'm going to ignore those now. So yeah, the signing's good. When you look at it, it's like 2.5 with incentives. It ends up being like a $4 million deal. I think it works for what we're looking to do. And yeah, that's really all that's happened. The details of the Bradley Roby deal came through. It ends up being very incentive laden, which is nice. He ended up coming in at 10.5 million annually, which is a steal for a player of the caliber of Bradley Roby. But yeah, I just that's amazing. It's the first time we've seen the Texans do incentive laden deals, which is a good thing to me. A lot of the good deals around the NFL are incentive laden, especially when it comes to players that have had a checkered past as far as injuries and things like that. So off the field stuff, Josh Gordon. If there's anybody that's going to take on Antonio Brown, that's going to be incentive laden. But yeah, $10.5 million a year for a starting cornerback, the caliber of Bradley Roby. I mean, given what Xavier Rhodes got and some of the other cornerbacks in the market during free agency, it's amazing. All right, so let's get into. I thought we could do some mock drafts because I've been spending a lot of time doing these. Jules put me on to a website called firstpick.com. I think it's an amazing. I think it's an amazing draft simulator. You go through and other teams will offer you trades for your pick. So it's kind of, I would say that probably some of the trades that you receive aren't probably what teams would receive. But it's pretty cool. And I like being able to trade back and add what what you're looking to add, and while also looking for value and adding other picks and things like that. Especially in a draft like this, like there's not a lot of defensive ends that are worth looking at in the second and third and fourth round. Actually, this is like probably one of the worst defensive end drafts in years. Not a lot of guys that are going to come in and make an impact day one. Some high potential guys, right? Which is what you look for in the draft. But when you think about this team and its needs, I'm starting to think that they go defensive end with that first pick at 40, just to be able to add to a need that they won't be able to address later on in the draft. There's the guy from Penn State. There's the guy from Michigan State. There's some good edge players, like as far as outside linebackers and things of that nature. But it's really not the draft to go find another nice defensive end opposite of JJ. It's a good defensive tackle draft. There's going to be a lot of players available. Honestly, if the Texans don't go wide receiver in the second round and they ended up with a defensive end and a defensive tackle, I'd be pretty thrilled. And then if they ended up getting like a Courtney Davis, James Prosh, I know Michael Pittman won't be there in the third, but if for some reason he does fall, I'd be fine with that. Denzel Mims probably won't fall. I could see T. Higgins falling just because I don't think T. Higgins is really the top. Like when it comes to the top tier wide receivers, that guy doesn't belong in that group. So yeah, it's interesting. Let's see. Tiger Texan Roughneck Superfan. I love that name. Just got it all in there. Just crammed it in there. And I was talking about the Timmy Jernigan signing. So I thought that was a good signing, given the contract value. Preston John is having internet issues, so he is not on the stream. All right, Tiger Texan Roughneck Superfan question: Would you be totally against selecting a quarterback in like the 5th or 6th round for competition for our backup AJ, like say Kelly Bryant? He's already backed up Watson before. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think that if you're going to take a quarterback, that would be the time to do it. But at the same time, like with AJ, he showed last year in the Titans game that he's capable. He is a good quarterback as far as when it comes to the backup role. He knows the offense, right? He's only going to be better one more year in this offense, and I think that I just don't know if you want to waste a pick on him. Now, Kelly Bryant's an okay quarterback, but is that somebody that you really want to like waste a pick on when you could add like depth at running back or maybe another wide receiver? I probably wouldn't go with a backup quarterback, especially considering how much time you're going to have to take to put into him to develop at the level that you would want him to develop. So I don't think that would be ideal. I'd rather use that pick in a position of need. I honestly, if we just take a wide receiver and then all the rest are defensive ends and defensive tackles, I'd probably be happy with this draft. I just want to see pass rush addressed some sort of fashion, however they want to do it. So if it's all defense and a wide receiver, all defensive tackles, all defensive linemen in general, I'd be totally thrilled with this draft. We need as many guys in camp that can go out and get the quarterback. And if we can find the right 4, that'd be ideal. Terrell Lewis should be available at 40. Walter Trubinsky of Walter Football has him lasting till 80s due to medicals. I like Terrell Lewis. Because of his upside, I can't see him lasting until the 80s. Given where, the position he plays, his production at Alabama, playing for Alabama, I don't see him lasting until the 80s. I'm also not a big fan of Walter Football. I feel like Walter Football is only used to like in the off season, but I love Terrell Lewis. I think Terrell Lewis, if we went outside linebacker and grabbed Terrell Lewis in the second round at 40, or if we grabbed him at 57, I'd be totally thrilled with that. Do we need cornerbacks? I don't know. Like I was thinking about that today. I was spending a lot of time. And so, obviously now talking with Lonnie and Rashad and starting to have relationships with those guys. I mean, you also know, if you guys have listened to the podcast long enough, you know that I'm a big Lonnie Johnson fan. I don't know. I feel like Lonnie, Conley, Roby. I don't know. Do you really need to draft another corner? I mean, you could take one in the 7th round, right? But outside of that, I don't know if you really need to take another cornerback, at least high. I feel pretty good about the secondary, but I've been on record to say that since last season. Last season is not I'm extremely high on Gary and Conley. Look, if Lonnie cannot develop, which I don't think will be the case, but with Conley and Roby, you have two good pieces to build on in the secondary. To take another corner in the 2nd or 3rd round when your biggest position of need is defensive end, I don't know. I just don't. I think it's a waste of a draft pick. Like, you can never have enough corners. But what up, Joshua? You can never have enough corners. But at the end of the day, if you can't get after the quarterback, it really doesn't matter how many corners or even how good your corners are, because after 4 to 5 seconds, routes are broken, and the play is extended, and somebody's open, and you have to be able to get after the quarterback for that to be for you to solve that issue. So, like I said, if you want to take a wide receiver, I'm actually not. I mean, you have to. The one thing that Bill O'Brien did when he traded DeAndre Hopkins that people don't realize is that he actually has to take a wide receiver. Kenny Stills, free agent next year. Will Fuller, free agent next year. If he doesn't trust Kiki, well, then you really only have Randall Cobb. So Bill O'Brien's in a situation where no matter what, he's got to take a wide receiver. And 32 other teams know that, or 31 other teams know that. So he didn't put himself in a good position. I wish he would have traded, even if the return for DeAndre would have been the same. I wish he would have traded him on draft night, because you pretty much showed your hand, and as far as what you need, right? Like, if we can go online to overthecap.com and see when Kenny Stills and when Will Fuller are free agents, you don't think these other guys in the league know? It's a bad position to be in. It's very similar to last year, and I don't think people are actually talking about that enough, right? Like, last year we saw Andre Dillard get snatched up right before our pick, right? Philly trades up to get him. If there's a good wide receiver available at that 40th pick, I wouldn't be surprised if teams start to trade ahead, because the Texans showed their card. They know that wide receiver is where they're going to need to go. And maybe they wait. Maybe they wait till the 57th pick, or they wait until the 3rd round, which they could do. But yeah, I don't know. Have you checked out my boy Gage Cervenka in the 7th round? No, I haven't, but I will check him out now. I wish what I didn't realize was when I share my screen, I unfortunately can only do it with screen sharing. Works best on a good computer. Okay, I have that. I have a new Mac. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Some screens let you share audio. Look for share audio checkbox on the next window. Sharing audio. I'm scared. Oh, look, let's see. Chrome tab. Oh, look at this. Fantastic. You guys see my screen? Look at that. This is awesome. So I thought we can go through and do some mock drafts. This is something I've done a lot of. Like I said, I really like this website, First Pick. I think it's an incredible pick, or an incredible simulation. You're offered trades and things of that nature. So I thought we can go through it together and just kind of make a decision as a group as much as possible. Or if you guys don't respond, then I'll just do it myself. So, we'll skip to our pick. And as you guys can see, we have 3 offers. We have the Rams offering us a third or 2/3 and their number 20 pick for our number 8 pick overall in the 2nd round. Denver is offering us a 3rd round pick to move back 6 spots, and moving back 6 spots in the 2nd round. And Buffalo is offering us a 2, 3, and a 4. I'm usually one to trade back, but when I think about what's there, let's check and see who's available at this time before we make any decisions. Whoa, what the heck? It just decided to I need to fix that. Just decided to kick me out. All right, now we'll skip to my pick. All right, so now the draft has changed. Let's look and see at the best value remaining. Troy Winfield. I'm a big fan of Winfield. I think he'd be a nice piece next to Justin Reed. I just wonder if the position is much of a need to be able to go grab that. Grant Delpit would be a very solid pick as well. Jeff Gladney. I am big on Jeff Gladney. I like what he does as a corner. Very physical. I just don't know if you really want to invest that pick. Laviska Shenault out of Colorado. Patrick Queen out of LSU as an inside linebacker. That's very interesting. So obviously, like, this is a mock, right? So just take it with a little grain of salt. Yeah, I'm mad at Kareem too, because I really wish that wouldn't have been the case. We would have had another third to use. All right, so best player available here. That's usually my go-to when I'm drafting. But in this situation, I don't know if, given the players available, I don't know if I can't go defensive end because Curtis Weaver is not worth taking with the 8th pick in the second round. I could solve the guard issue. We could get rid of Fulton, create $7 million in cap space, and take Lloyd Cushenberry, who's probably the best center / guard in the draft. Some would say Cesar Ruiz, but I like Cushenberry. Or I could go that Patrick Queen pick. You know what? And do you guys have any input? If you guys don't have any input, I'm going to take Patrick Queen because we could just trade. We're just going to trade BMAC now. I really like Patrick Queen, even though it doesn't fit a need. The value's there. He's a first-round inside linebacker for sure. Quick, good in coverage, downhill runner. I like it. All right, so this is move 4. All right, we're going to move 4 picks back. Skip to my pick. Oh, now we get to move 2 picks back and get a third. Or move 1. Yeah, let's do that again. Boom. This would be a horrible podcast, but this is probably a really good stream. He really does have a great name, Storm. Like, if you honestly think about it, like Patrick Queen. All right, so we went Patrick Queen. All right, so now best available. Oh, look, Jacob Eason. We should probably take him since Deshaun's going to leave us in 2 years. Unless Bill O'Brien's going to trade him, right? So we'll take Jacob Eason as Deshaun's backup for the next 3 years. What are your guys' thoughts? No? All right. What's up, Martin? What's up, Storm? All right. Is Deshaun Gibson a possible training camp casualty? He's 30 and not sure about dead money on cap to cut. Not enough dead money to really risk it. Deshaun was really good for the Texans last year. I don't think people realize how he played. It was towards the end of the season that he was hurt. Lonnie got hurt in the Kansas City game in the playoffs. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you guys will find that out when I release the Lonnie Johnson interview. But no reason to cut Deshaun. You're just creating a position of need unless you're cutting him and signing Eric Reed. I don't know if there's a lot of dead money, but I just don't see a reason to do it. I mean, you just signed Eric Murray for $50 million a year for some reason. All right. So best player available. We took an inside linebacker. So now we're going to probably have to address a position of need. Wide receivers available are KJ Hamler, Brian Edwards, Chase Claypool, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who I like a lot. I just don't like right here. Tyler Johnson out of Minnesota. So if I had to, I'd probably go KJ Hamler. Or I could address the outside linebacker position. See, that's my problem. I'm a value guy when it comes to the draft. So I'm going to go Akeem Davis Gaither out of Appalachian State. Fits a need. Also, we still have plenty of time with all our trade backs to grab 1 or 2 receivers. So now the wide receiver pool is getting a little thin. I like Brian Edwards. Out of South Carolina. I know John's a big fan of Brian Edwards, obviously, because he's a Gamecock. Devin Duvernay, not a big fan, but I also don't like Texas players. Gabriel Davis out of UCF is actually a very interesting choice. If this was the 4th round, I'd probably feel comfortable taking him. I think he'll be very good. James Prosh is an interesting player. I'm wondering, when did Courtney Davis go? James Prosh has been working with the Footwork King. Tyler Johnson, Van Jefferson. Interesting. 500K dead hit. Okay, so Tashaun Gipson, 500K, and we save probably like what, 3 or 4 million, Pat? I don't know if that's worth it. Jalen Watkins and Eric Murray are the same position as Gibson. Jalen Watkins is more of a corner. He's more of a special teamers, really. I doubt he'll get snaps unless this is 2017 where all our corners get hurt. I like Prosh. I like him a lot. So I don't know. I mean, Eric Murray, I told you guys last week, Eric Murray or 2 weeks ago, Eric Murray is an upgraded, younger version of Gila Ladai. He's great in the box. You don't want him in coverage. If he's dropping back in a zone or a curl or a flat, you're okay. He's got the speed to be able to do it. But I think that I just think that you don't cut Tashaun unless you're signing Eric Reed. Like I said, if you're going to sign Eric Reed, then no problem. But outside of that, I just don't really see the need to. Me and Pat are working on something, by the way. Save $7 million if we cut. Okay, see, now things are a little different. So then, yeah, if you're going to sign Eric Reed to like a 2-year, $14 million deal, I'd feel a lot better than that. Or we could just took an Antoine Winfield. All right, so here, wide receivers available. Honestly, when I look at this list, I think probably not a wide receiver worth taking right here in the third round. I think Gabriel Davis will be there at my next pick. I think he might actually be there at my 32nd pick as well. So I'm going to go defensive end and see who's available. Day 2 guys, Raekwon Davis, Khalid Kareem from Notre Dame. I'd probably go Raekwon just because he's a bigger guy. He can play on the edge, more of a 3-4 outside or 3-4 defensive lineman instead of a Khalid Kareem, who's like he's like 265, 270 outside linebacker / defensive end. So here we go. Boom. Raekwon Davis. And they're going to grade me terribly because, oh, look at that. They actually graded me well. This team needs pass rush. You guys can say whatever you want. You guys can be as butthurt as you want about. Wait, there's no slander here, Yayo. We can't be slandering my boy Pat Storm. Okay. Obviously, you haven't been following his timeline. We can't be slandering my boy. I can't have that. Can't have that. That's not okay. Now you see. Tell Pat to keep Texas Cleve away. That dude is annoying on his podcast. Okay, this is the wrong Pat. That's Pat Stat. This is Pat Storm. This is a totally different Pat. You follow him on Twitter too, most likely. But no, this is a different guy. So apologize in the comments. All right. So we went ahead. So far we took a luxury pick in Patrick Queen. Got an outside linebacker out of Appalachian State in Akeem Davis-Gaither. And then we addressed the defensive end position with Raekwon Davis, who probably shouldn't have been there in round 3. I'll take it. Now let's see who's best available. All right. Oh, see, Ben Barch is available. He could fill that guard position for Zach Fulton. That would create another 7. Now we're saving $14 million if we cut Fulton and Tashaun Gipson. That's very interesting. You still need a middle guy, right? You still need a defensive tackle, somebody that you can groom, take on. I'm a big fan of Devon Hamilton. I'm also a fan of a couple others that may be there later on. Justin Madupi, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but the defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, big guy, solid run defender, not much of a pass rusher. But when you think about this team and the scheme, you don't know as of right now if you need a pass rushing defensive tackle or if you need, it was Periscope slander. You don't know what you're looking for out of the DT. Are we going to switch to a full 4-3? Are we going to switch to a full 3-4? Are we still going to run our base 4-3, 3-4 scheme? I don't know. Yes, that's the guy that breaks news on social media. Correct. Yep, that's Pat Storm. He's the guy that broke the Clowney trade and plenty of other things. So, yeah, we're not talking about the same Pat. So, honestly, here, having another pick in the 3rd round and also having a pick in the 4th at number 5, the Dolphins pick, I'm actually going to upgrade the guard position and take Ben Barch out of St. John's. That'll give me another $7 million to play with, just in case there's any surprise cuts on cut down day. I still haven't selected my wide receiver, so things are going to get a little antsy here. Antonio Gandy Golden out of Liberty is a pretty solid wide receiver. Let's go look and see. Actually, I don't know if I have my athletic subscription on this computer. I never use this computer unless I'm with you guys. Knocked over the mic. Let's see if I have my draft guide from Dane Brugler, who is going to be on the show in next week. I'm not sure if it's next week or the week before. I can give you guys some little insider stuff. Don't be trying to look at any of my sent stuff. Oh, I forgot what the password is. All right. Anyways, doesn't matter. I would love Justin from Texas A&M too. Damn, that sucks. All right. Well, we'll just click on his name and we'll go over it. So for me, I was looking at Antonio Gandy. This should be a analysis by Lance Zierlein, who's been doing quite a bit, obviously, for the NFL for quite some time. Very intriguing height, weight, speed prospect who showed noticeable improvements in a number of important areas in 2019. While his hands were superior in 19, it's possible that focus drops could return with bigger, better players beating on his routes from snap to whistle. When he does catch it, he has an innate ability to add yardage after the catch with his size and agility. Gandy Golden's route running is still a work in progress, but his build-up speed, length, and ball skills could allow him to develop into a dangerous third level threat on the next level. Weaknesses: hard to unsee poor focus drops that plagued him in 2018. Physically overwhelmed by Auburn's press coverage as a junior. We're talking about as a junior. Below average urgency and initial vertical push into routes. Finds route traffics inside the 5 yards. I haven't done a lot on this guy, or really a lot of the stuff I've done lately has been really on, the top 6 guys, the Higgins, the CDs, the Jerry Judys, the Jeffersons of the world. But I think a player like this would be interesting. He's a little bit of everything. Sounds a little bit like Hop. So it'd be easy plug and play. I also like Devon Hamilton out of Ohio State for that DT. I don't know if he'll be there next, but so let's address the wide receiver position and go Antonio Gandy Golden. And I guess I have viruses. That's probably because my kid does all of her homeschooling here. All right, so we grabbed ourselves a wide receiver now. Oh, and our guy's still available. Should still be available. Devon Hamilton is available. Boom. Plug and play. DJ Reader's replacement right here. Solid. All right. How about we get this DJ Reader kid out of Clemson? Pretty solid in round 5. Probably going to get the top nose tackle contract in the league at some point. Yeah, I'm pretty high on DJ Reader coming out of Clemson. I think he has a future in the NFL. I'd like to see him, in an ideal world, I'd like to see him kind of spend a year working with like a Hall of Fame defensive tackle, preferably Vince Wilfork if he was going to do it. But I like his tenacity. He's a big guy, able to eat up blocks. Not a good pass rusher, but that's something he could develop. He's a strong player. I just don't know if I like him right here in the 4th. If I had to, I'd probably wait until the 5th round to address that. If he's there, I'll take him. But as of that, no, I'm just kidding. Obviously, DJ was great. All right, so as of right now, we've addressed inside linebacker, which we didn't need, but Patrick Queen a lot. We grabbed an outside linebacker with Akeem Davis-Gaither out of Appalachian State. Grabbed another defensive tackle in Raekwon Davis out of Alabama. We are going to cut Zach Fulton and put Ben Barch at the right guard position. Antonio Gandy Golden, wide receiver out of Liberty, and then we added another defensive tackle. Now, here's the thing. With Raekwon Davis, he's going to be a 3-4 defensive end. So he's going to play opposite of JJ. We'll have Devon in the middle behind Jernigan on the depth chart. Give him some time to develop. I'm liking where we're going with this. I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to win a Super Bowl next year if this draft happens. All right. Let's see. So now we can go corner. I like AJ Green out of Oklahoma State. Not the biggest cornerback, but he's gritty, quick enough, has good recovery, solid hands, very physical, which is what I look for in a corner. Let's see. I don't know much about Aaron Fuller. I don't need a tight end, so it doesn't matter. Look Look at that. James Proche is available. That'd be a good pick in round 5. That's interesting. Look to see who else. So we can go running back. That would probably make some people happy. Nope. Yep, I'd probably go with Proche, to be honest with you. It's a position of need. Get 2 young guys in here. Proche, you guys should go do, you know what? Here, I'll click on it so you guys can see it. I tried to interview DJ Reader. I can't. He won't. He just won't. He just won't. Especially now. He's in Cincy. It's funny that they quoted our interview with Bill O'Brien, though. That was interesting. All right. James Proche, average size, quickness, and speed, but extraordinary ball skills that allow for viral caliber catches throughout his game tape. Teams may see the measurables and move him inside, but he lacks slot quickness and route savvy underneath. Once the ball is launched, however, Proche is an alpha with ball tracking, body control, and razor-sharp focus, which makes him the favorite in contested catch battles downfield. Polishing the routes and determining the fit that best activates his ultra-competitive nature and freakish instincts and talent when the ball is in the air could be the difference between becoming a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 5. He was very productive at SMU. Not the fastest guy, but not the slowest guy. He's not a freak athlete. He's kind of like your most dependable, like, possession guy. But he has the ability to be able to go up and battle for the battle up top with corners and safeties to grab the ball in contested catches. It says good hands option as a punt returner. I don't know. I just, something about him. It's just interviews I've heard from him. He's a smart kid. You got to, like, it's funny when I go through, Jefferson won't be there when we draft, but if he is, that'd be interesting. Does Kahali Waring see the field this year? That's a great question. If you ask most people say yes, they will. And that'll be one of the tight ends that they keep. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, one of them is going, whether it's, and I don't believe it's Akins. I know everybody thinks I'm crazy. I think we trade Jordan Thomas. I think we keep Akins. Only reason I can see that we would trade Akins is because he probably has more value than Jordan Thomas. But honestly, I'd rather trade Kahali in this draft for like a 5th or a 6th and roll with the Jordan brothers and Darren Fells. I really like the continuity that comes with those 3 coming back. Gives Deshaun reliable options at tight end that he hasn't had since he's been here. I think this is the first year where we've had all 3 of our starting tight ends back. I think it'd just be interesting. But who knows? Akins was missing the playoffs. All right. So we're on the clock. Best value remaining. So far we've drafted really well. I'm kind of surprised at what has been out here. Okay. So now this is kind of where we're in the luxury, right? We already addressed, like, we got a luxury pick. We addressed the outside. We addressed our defensive ends. We got an interior guard guy. We grabbed our wide receiver. We grabbed 2 wide receivers, and we grabbed our future DJ Reader. At this point, I just want to go with value, right? It's round 7. There's not going to be a lot of options here. I need pass rush extremely bad. I really wish you guys understood how bad we need pass rush. I'm a big school guy, so none of these guys excite me. I also don't know anything about them. I don't like the in-betweeners usually, at least from a defensive end to outside linebacker. That usually means that in a 3-4 scheme, they're going to be more of a 4-3 outside linebacker. It tends to be the case. Or in a 4-3, they're a defensive end, maybe. I don't know. I don't like any of these, to be honest. Let's look at running back. All right, these are luxury picks. I don't like any of those either. So we're going to go best player available. Antonio Gibson out of Memphis, not a fan. Benito Jones, no. Brevion Roy out of Baylor is interesting. He has good tape, but he also didn't show up sometimes at tape, so I don't necessarily know if I'd feel comfortable with that. John Reed out of Penn State would be an interesting corner. all luxury, right? So let's take that developmental quarterback and see, right? We address the needs. There's no reason not to. Kelly Bryant, boom. Missouri. Sean's previous look. Now my draft grade went down. See, I shouldn't have listened to you guys. I was trying to score the highest points. All right, so we grab a quarterback. Now these are the bad ones because like at this point, like you're really just grasping at straws. Even the draft analysts that truly break down film for every player in the draft have no idea who these guys are. They just claim to. All right, then I'm gonna take Roy because I do like him, and we're gonna complete the draft. And I bet we got a terrible score. Damn it! All right, so let's do it again. We don't need a fullback, Preston. We have Colin Gillespie, which is a solid fullback. If you didn't notice in the blocking game last year, he was great, and he wasn't targeted much in the passing game. But I think that'll change this year. I think there's going to be a lot of differences, a lot of new wrinkles in this offense, in my opinion. But I guess only time will tell. What have you guys been doing during this quarantine? Like, have you guys done anything? Like, what can you do, right? Like, I'm so tired of TV. I just started playing video games again. I haven't played video games in forever. I'm playing The Division 2 right now. If anybody wants to hit me up on PlayStation. Yeah. All right. Last draft, and then I guess we'll call it a night. Kind of boring. Not much going on, really. All right. So we have a trade back 12, trade back 7, trade back 16, get a 3. No. I don't like any of those. So let's look and see who's available. I bet Patrick Queen's not available. I think that was an outlier. Jonathan Taylor's available. That would make Patrick Storm happy. He loves Jonathan Taylor. Jordan Love. Oh, do we take our quarterback of the future? Oh, Neville Gilmore. That'd be nice. Oh, look, Patrick Queen is available. Is there something going on with Patrick Queen? Like, why is he popping up out of nowhere? This is very interesting. A 4-5 middle linebacker. Dude's a beast. While other Tigers receive more attention, Queen has some of the most eye-opening tape of the bunch. He plays fast, physical, and with impressive field confidence for a one-year starter. His ability to diagnose and flow are both very rapid, and he operates with excellent body control and balance to gobble up runners as an open field tackler. His inexperience will show itself in taking on blocks and finding optimal pursuit angles, but that will get cleaned up in time. Queen is next up from LSU's linebacker factory, possessing the same 3-down ability to hunt, cover, and tackle as those before him. He's an early starter with sky-high ceiling. Oh, I feel like we have to take him again. Take Justin from A&M, Texans, the interior pass rush. I agree 100%. Why don't they just move JJ inside? Oh, that's right, because JJ won't play inside. All right, we're going Patrick Queen again because he fits a need I just created in my head to justify me taking him, which works. Let's see who else is available now. All right, we can go early with our wide receivers. Let's see. Nope, Jacob Eason. All right, so let's have a discussion. The top wide receivers available right now. Now, keep in mind, I got Antonio Gandy Golden in the 4th last draft. Chase Claypool, who I like. I don't like here. Michael Pittman's available. He could also be available at 57, so we're going to roll with that. Let's go best available. We're not going to go with Appalachian State outside linebacker. We got to switch it up because that's what we did last time. God, we're going to have to again because none of these. I don't like Brian Edwards. Oh, look, boom, offensive guard. 7 million saved. All right, let's see who is available now. Wide receiver. Ooh, Zach Moss. I like Zach Moss. Anybody else a big fan of Zach Moss? Wide receiver next. Got it. All right, let's do wide receiver next. All right, so we have Antonio Gandy Golden, Chase Claypool, Devin, Donovan People-Jones, Gabriel Davis, who seriously, if you just watch him, he is freaking incredible. He played at UCF with Jordan Akins. I'm a big fan. I don't want to take him right here. Oh, third round. I guess I'd feel comfortable taking Michael Pittman's available. I like Pittman. So who are we taking right here? You guys pick. Eduardo. With the 26th pick in the third round, the Houston Texans select. Eduardo, you got to go. I need you to chime in quick. This is also a podcast. Remember that? I got to put this out. Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame. All right. Chase Claypool. I like Claypool. I don't know if I like him as much as Gabriel, but maybe Gabriel will be there in the fourth as well. We didn't do any trades this entire time. All right, so we still haven't addressed the defensive end or defensive tackle position. Let's see. Oh, look, Gabriel Davis is available. God. All right, so with this pick, where do we go? We have no interior pass rush. We have no defensive ends. God, why am I getting... Oh, really? Okay, cool. This is great. All right, so we're going to... I just got a message from Pat that we're going to do a... we're going to give back to first responders and hospital workers in this time of need. He just got Brian Cushing to agree to sign a jersey, and we're going to set up an account to do a donations, and we will give... I don't know the details yet. I'm still working through it with Pat, but just be on the lookout for it when we do, because we are going to donate that to everybody that's doing all the good work right now while we're sitting here on a YouTube stream, for all the people at the hospitals and nurses putting their bodies in harm's way to help people who are hurting from the coronavirus currently. So, yeah, good job, Pat. That's amazing. So be on the lookout for that. All right, what's available defensive tackles? I like that. That's a great strategy, Eduardo. Let's look. All right, so defensive tackles. I tell you what, like, I like Rashard Lawrence out of LSU. Big guy. I like Khalil Davis out of Nebraska. Lekai Fotu out of Utah is an interesting pick. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking him right here in at the beginning of the fourth round. If this was maybe early fifth, I'd be fine. If I had to pick, I'd probably go Rashard Lawrence, but I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Let's see. I'm a fan of Rashard Lawrence, so I'll let you guys decide what to do at that point. Or we grab Gabriel Davis and we're gonna go Rashard Lawrence. I like Lawrence a lot, actually, and that's a position of need. Helps this team out a lot. All right, now skip to my pick in the fifth. Let's go back to the wide receivers and see who's available. Oh, our boy James Proche, Lynn Bowden. Oh, Courtney Davis, without even question. If anybody listened to any of the conversation with Rashard, the footwork king, he had nothing but high praise for Courtney Davis. He's an Aggie. We won't hold that against him. But I like it. All right, let's look and see who else we have available. Let's go back to DT, see if our boy, he's probably gone, but yeah, Texas A&M. Bravion Roy, all right, defensive end. Chauncey Rivers out of Mississippi State. Christian Rector, James Lockhart, I'll take Oluwolu Batuki Jr., Illinois. All right, now we got another trade. Let's go running back, right? I mean, it's the seventh round. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Charlotte, Georgia. I like Brian. No. TCU. Boom. And last but not least, let's find ourselves a cornerback. But I need a big school quarterback. I'm not a fan of small school corners. Fresno, Utah, Florida. I'm not familiar with any of these names. FAU, Army guys never make it. Tulsa, I guess we'll go Miami. Boom. And that was probably my best draft so far. Nope, grade-wise, that was awful. Oh my God. All right, guys. What else do you guys have? Anything else? Any questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? PS5 or Series X for next gen pro gaming needs. Interesting. I haven't gamed in the level that I've wanted to in the past. I used to play Madden a lot. I just got NBA 2K20. Not really a fan of the mechanics. It's not a very fluid system to play, like as far as like when as a player, like I just don't like it. I'd probably go PS5. I trust Sony more. I don't know. I mean, but then again, with Microsoft, like I'm trying to think of like the game exclusivity for games, right? What would it be? You know what I wish? I wish Sony would make what was the game they launched with PS3? What was it? Resistance? That game was freaking phenomenal. That was one of the best games I've ever played. Metal Gear Solid is specific to Sony. Halo is specific to Microsoft. I'm trying to think, there's something else specific to Microsoft. I don't know. I want to play the Avengers game. That's going to be dope. I'm glad they pushed it back. I wonder if they pushed it back so that they could put it on the next gen consoles. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to do moves on NBA 2K. Like it's like click this. Oh, God of War. And that's my favorite game series. So that's probably why I'll buy a PS5. God of War is by far, if anybody has played God of War 1, 2, or 3, you're literally, you have nothing else to do right now. Go on your PlayStation Network and find them and play them. Amazing games, amazing storylines, amazing graphics. This new God of War is really good too. God of War and Metal Gear Solid are my favorite games all time. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, NBA 2K. There's just too like you have to hit this button the certain way and like these sticks, and it's just too complex. I'm not a big fan. Yeah, Sony does have better exclusives. All right. Anything else Texans related? Anybody else got anything else you guys want to talk about before I hit the end broadcast button? It was kind of fun. I don't know, something to pass time. Probably not a podcast. I guess I'll put out the Lonnie Johnson interview tomorrow to fill time. Yeah, I don't know. All right, guys. With that being said, I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys aren't eating too many boxed foods and boxed meals, beef stroganoffs and those things. Yeah, I said it. Make sure you guys are eating healthy, like doing stuff. Do some yoga in the house. Yep, that'll be out tomorrow, dude. It was a really good interview, like a really good interview. I'll be going to the Footwork Kings training facility after all the quarantine and things like that. Yeah, it's the interview with Lonnie Johnson was very. You could just hear it in his voice, like I said, when you hear that a player wants to get better and is acknowledging what it is that he needs to get better, especially as a rookie, that plays a big. Specifically about a play that bothered me on third down. I wonder if I could show. No, I can't. Against Mike Williams against the Chargers, he was playing off coverage. Mike Williams hit him with a dig and then a dig and go, and he bit on the transition and ended up having to pass interference just so that he didn't give up 6. We talked about that play specifically, and the way he broke it down for me was like, okay, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. So I'll have that up tomorrow. I'll probably put it up actually right now, so you guys should have it by the end of the day. All right. With that being said, I'm Young Ari Gold signing off for Texans Unfiltered. You guys stay safe, enjoy your time with your family, and we'll talk soon.